Thanks, Cameron. Now, can I ask how many of you, or those of you that are wearing a wristwatch, can you raise your hand? How many of you have used Skype? Keep them up. Oh, that's not bad. Apparently, the digitally slick generation don't wear watches. Did you know? So that's about 60% of the audience now are digitally compromised, according to that. Now, you know, the AOA, the AOA's mission basically is education. And this talk is really a plea for people to be involved in education in other ways. And it flows on from the way the exam has changed. The exam, as you know, the non-clinical part is basically done on computers. And so until I left examining, I couldn't really do this. But I thought it might be of interest to you to try and see if it was any use to you. Unfortunately, I'm not getting any money from the techno revolution that's sweeping the world, and I have to thank Vivek for being the guinea pig, although he wasn't as much danger as Dr. Smokey from yesterday. And the internet is causing a major revolution in learning, and you know, orthopedic surgeons are the biggest single group that use the college online library. So there's lots of modalities that we can use to get information from the web, and we even have a local one, thanks to Fong, a local source. Now, YouTube, I didn't really appreciate that YouTube was a learning tool until I was commending an intern for putting on a brilliant U-slab on a patient with a fractured humerus, and I said, where did you learn how to do that? Because usually they're put on terribly, hopeless. And he said, oh, we went down, we sat the patient down, and he said, we put the screen so he couldn't see what we're doing, and the resident and I looked it up on YouTube and put it on from YouTube. I thought that was brilliant. We often talk about the art of medicine. What does it mean? Well, it actually means you've got to do a lot of disciplined learning, and there's a lot of information you have to get on board, you have to keep up to date, you have to then look at the patient and make an assessment of the patient, proper history examination, look at the information from your investigations, and then you've got to assimilate all that, and that actually takes practice. It's not easy. It's not easy for anyone keeping going, and I must say that my ego has been battered today. The spinal surgeons tell me that I'm not as smart as them, and now Hayden tells me that because I'm over 60, I'm old. So I asked a recent graduate, why is Sue Lu so good? What's her secret? You know, why do you guys think she's such a fantastic trainer? I know that Justin's knocked her off that perch, but I thought I'd stick with her. And the first thing he said was, well, she always has time to teach you. She gives you time. And I realised that time is such a precious commodity. It's a very... I think we have to be a little smarter with our time. Perhaps Skype's the way. The other thing is that learning isn't a linear process, or training is not a linear process. You don't take a lump of undifferentiated mesenchyme, you know, the set one trainee, and put him on the conveyor belt and gradually beat him into shape as being a good product at the end. I thought that analogy with like a production line's not bad, because you know, when you see people coming off the training program, they are impressive. They are like a sparkling new car. They're not like the 60-year-old veteran with dents and patches. And the other thing about education is that it's quite complicated. Everyone's education journey is quite personal. You have lots of people in your learning experience that have influenced you, lots of different styles. I asked one person, how should we get good and bad trainers? You know, how should we help with training? He said, well, you actually learn a lot from the bad ones, what not to do. Anyway, I think you have to be a little bit opportunistic with what you do, you know, how you teach. So one of the things the examining thing teaches you, you have to be a little bit, you have to think all the time. You get a great case. Oh, wouldn't this be a great case to talk about? And you get some that, oh my God, what am I going to do? I wonder what we can extract from this as a teaching tool. So I made a little video. I hope it makes some sense. Switch off the flash. Use a tripod is better than doing it like that. I just download it. I take the interesting photographs, put them on the desktop, open up the PowerPoint. This is probably old hat to everyone who's done lots of PowerPoint things, and then gradually you build up a little list of cases. I try to get about 5, and you can do the exam thing. You put in a little bit of history. I try, you know, the quality of the images I don't think has to be fantastic, although I notice the registrars do it better than me. Whenever I've asked them to do things, they always look better than mine. Anyway, so you build up a nasty spectrum of cases, and then once you get your PowerPoint all ready to go, dial up the registrar, friendly registrar, at a good time. Can you just stop it there? Sorry. I just clicked very quickly on share screen. This whole point is about that. You know, if you've never done it in Skype, there's a little icon up the top, share screen. Click on share screen, open it up, you can roll it. So once you've got share screen, you have to get rid of the registrar's lovely face, and then you open up your PowerPoint, and then open up it, do it as a slideshow, and you're rolling. And I try to keep it punchy, you know, try to do it for a half an hour, simulate the exam. Sometimes you put in a little bit of history, sometimes you give them the history like in the exam, ask them, you know, their relevant questions. After the half an hour, get him back, have a little bit of debriefing, do the Myron thing. What did you do well? What do you think you could have done better? And I then asked him, let me see what it's like. So you do it to me. This has got a bit of audio. Oh, not that audio. Anyway, you can see the actual quality of the information. The quality of the slides is quite good. Yeah. Anyway, I mean the audio. This was that I was a bit critical of them because I didn't mark the limb on the child. Anyway, that's about it. I think. I have one last photograph of the swimmers from last year at Lorne. Yeah. Thanks. That's it. I hope you do it. You should try it. I mean, I think it's really important that there's a lot of experience. There's a lot of people that aren't directly involved in trainees. They're not in the public sector. And if you ran some of these things, you build up a little library of nice little things. It'd be a good way to do it. Thanks.
That's excellent. Thanks, John.